be different. I'm just kind of making similar choices I would make.
Right. So
my friend, we have pick a number between 1 and 15. We have 15 suggestions.
well, 15 is my birthday, so I'll go with that.
Oh, all right. So the suggestion comes from Bo Klausen, and it's tuition is free is our suggestion. Tuition is free.
Dad?
Yeah. Ella, come in. I'm just, let me turn off my computer. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
So I don't want to go back to college in the fall.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you okay?
I am. I'm completely okay because you're okay. I just thought that you'd have a different reaction to me just throwing away 3 years at Harvard. But yay for us that, yeah. No, I'm great. I just think that I have a different career path than medicine, and I feel like I need to explore it.
Okay. So are you still thinking of staying in medicine, or are you thinking of going somewhere else?
Well, I guess I could contribute to medicine a little bit if I go to clown school, and then I can entertain the kids in like the cancer wards and stuff like that. I just feel like it's my passion.
Okay. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah, I was honest with you.
I've been worried about you because I know how hard it's been and how much pressure you've been under. And like Harvard is not an easy school by any means. And going pre-med, like you've been your whole life, you've been an overachiever. And I wanted you to have some time for yourself. And I even wanted you to maybe take a year off. And you're like, no, I want to go right into school, which was fine. But I just want you to follow whatever your passion is. And if it's not medicine, and I feel like I kind of put that on you because, I thought you might want to become a doctor because I'm a doctor, and that's not, fair to you to try to live up to what I do. So if you will be happy going to clown school, college, clown is, I think
It's a college, so it's not Harvard, but yeah, Dad. It's what I want to do. I just want to make you happy. That's why medicine was okay, and I wanted to jump in and not take a year off, because if I did, I knew I would never follow through. And then I tried, and oh my gosh, Dad, it's not for me. I did this play I auditioned for like a musical at Harvard, and it was called Barnum, and it just started me thinking about the circus and the clowns and making people laugh, and like that's what I should be doing. I shouldn't be like, I'm not gonna be a doctor, but
look at you.
I hope you're still proud of me.
Proud of you? I'm very proud of you. Look at you. Your eyes light up when you talk about your passion. I'll be honest. Yeah, what?
I mean, it's just the idea of like, the feeling you get inside when people are laughing at what you're doing. It's something I never got from studying about the body and about health and stuff. And I watch you do your job, and you're so good at it, and everyone reveres you. And I just want some of that accolades myself.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but I had another dream of, if I could do anything, I would have become a radio disc jockey, a DJ. And your grandpa said, no, that there was no money in that. It didn't serve any purpose, entertainment. There was no value whatsoever. And I argued with him. I said, what's better than making people smile and bringing joy to them? And he said, saving lives is what's better. And I said, we had an argument. I mean, and that's why we stopped talking, is like, I went and I pursued what his passion was, but I gave up on my own dream. And so I want you to follow your dream. As I get older, I think like, why did I give that up? Well, I did it because I wanted to please somebody, but you have to do what makes you happy.
Thank you, Dad. I'm so sorry you gave up your dream.
Oh, I mean, it was a different time and I thought I was making the right choice. And there's always a little part of me that just wonders what if, and if anything, I want you to know, don't let that voice become a part of your mind. Don't wonder what if. If you, Harvard will still be there. If for some reason you decide you want to go back, you can defer and you can go back to Harvard. I mean, it's always going to be there. And, you know, not that this means anything, but I mean, it's expensive to go there, and you've earned a scholarship, which is amazing. But I think the bigger cost is not the tuition, but the bigger cost is spending your life wondering what if. That's the bigger cost, Ella.
I love you, Dad. Thank you so much.
I love you too. I this must have been a hard thing for you to come talk to me about, because you probably were thinking that I would push you back into medicine, and really what I want to do is help push you into where you're going to be happy.
I just never wanted to disappoint you.
Oh no, you couldn't disappoint me. You could never disappoint me.
And you've never disappointed me. So thank you for that. And
Oh,
you should follow your dream.
I should go back and be a DJ.
Or a
I
podcast, Dad. It's like the same thing.
That's what I was
That's what everyone
thinking.
does.
I could do a podcast on music. I could do a podcast where all we do is talk about the Beatles. That's my band.
Oh, you turned me on to that music at a young age, and it's like the music of my life. So I guess do it, Dad. Just follow your dream too.
I keep thinking I'm too late, but I don't think you are too late. I think
No.
you can make a decision and change your life. And, you know, I saw a book once and I should have read it. I never read it, but I saw the title and it said, do what you love and the money will follow. And when I was growing up, you know, your grandpa and grandma, they did not believe in that. They said you have to do something practical. And I was continuing to try to make them happy. I was making choices for them, not for myself. And so it really means a lot to me that you've decided to make choices for yourself. You're old enough now. You should be able to make those choices. You're going to be fine. And if entertaining kids is what you want to do, I mean, think of how many people have been entertained by the circus and been entertained by clowns.
I know, Dad. And I'm just so thrilled. I'm so thrilled to follow my dream, and promise me, you'll follow yours.
Oh, I promise I will start a podcast. I promise.
Awesome.
I'm putting that right now.
Oh, not your to-do list. You're putting it right.
I'm putting it on my to-do list. And as you know, I have to rearrange this so I can.
Well, it should be number one, Dad. It should be number one on your to-do list. Forget everything else.
All right. So then that means I put, all right, sod the lawn. I got to move sod down. I mean, and then okay. So then it's like, all right, that works. Now I just moved sod down right there. All right, I got to clean the gutters. I mean, I have a lot of yard. I'm looking at this to-do list. It's a lot of yard work here. So I'm putting that up. That's my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start a podcast, and I'm going to play music, and I'm going to make it my own radio show right there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can still do medicine, which you do love, but you can do this, which you've always dreamed of. And like, that's going to be the best of both worlds. And I can't wait to listen to your first episode. I'm going to subscribe right away. Tell all my friends.
Oh, don't forget to rate and review.
See, you already know what you're doing, Dad. You're going to be amazing.
Look at you. Like, you walked in here with such a burden. And expecting, I mean, you were expecting me to not be okay with this decision. And I want you to know that whatever you do in your life, I'm going to be okay with. You know, I'm just I feel there's a little bit of pressure too, because, you know, your mom's not around as much as she'd like. And so I want you to know that like you have a very, very wonderful foundation. You always make the right decisions. And if your heart's telling you that this is what you want to do, I think you should do it.
Thanks. I I just can't thank you enough for everything. I'm so excited to start this new chapter of my life and the fact that you're on board. So now all we have to do is the two of us is convince mom it's going to be okay.
Yes. And they let me handle that. Okay.
Oh, great. Okay,
I,
totally. That can be all you.
I can't believe like you packed the car. Let's go unpack the car. You don't have to go back to school. Or
Okay.
maybe you pack it. I don't even know where this clown college is.
It's in Florida, but it doesn't start for a couple weeks, so we can go unpack the car.
Okay, let's go unpack the car.
All right. I'll meet you outside.
Scene. Oh, Karla,
Thanks.
that was so great. Oh,
Thanks.
what a
That was so
joy.
fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love that you took it to the clown college.
It's like the first thing that came to my mind. I have no idea if they even exist anymore. So
No, they do. Ringling Brothers, I think they have a clown college where you go and you train, and then you go on and become, yeah, you become a clown, and you either get placed like with the circus. Although right now, I think the circus is, you know, obviously
yeah,
old.
it's a little taboo at the moment, I
Yeah,
guess.
and there's like, you know, there's the who is that doctor? Patch Adams.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Robin Williams did
Yeah,
played him in the movie.
yeah.
So
I know. I was teaching in Copenhagen last year, and one of my students was training to become a hospital clown.
oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
It was great. She had very facial, like great expressions, and like you looked at her and you're like, man, you're the perfect one for this job. But yeah, she said she wanted to entertain kids and work in a hospital, and so she was going through classes to become a hospital clown, which is a thing.
Yeah, that's great. I wish there were more jobs like that that just gave back to people and when they were in need and they could entertain and when people can't get to places like right now,
Yeah,
wish there were more opportunities to just go in and do more entertaining of folks wherever they are. So hospitals,
yeah.
senior centers, all that good stuff.
I've been talking to a friend of mine about like, ooh, could we do like a Zoom call with people who are in like nursing homes? And just like be like, oh, let's have like a 20-minute conversation, and then, you know, just give a little something during the day so that, you know, people have that connection right there.
Yeah. I saw something recently. There was like a Penpal program you could do for folks in senior homes because they're not even really allowing their families and stuff in because of how susceptible everyone is. And so
Wow.
I saw it online somewhere. I don't remember. And I thought, oh, I should do that. And then I didn't click on it. So now maybe I'll go find that. So I am in a position where I don't have grandparents on this earth anymore. And so I definitely think it would be cool to reach out and share some love and joy with someone else's. So
I think that's great. Yeah, I had my grandparents all passed away when I was young. Like I had one grandmother who was kind of bedridden until I was a freshman in college, but the other three passed away before I was like 8. And so I never really had like grandparents growing up, but I think I gravitated towards older people my whole life. So I have a soft spot for like older men and women, like, and I think it's because I didn't have that same experience growing up.
yeah, mine were around for most of my life. I had one that lived over 100, and she lived on her own till she was, I
What?
believe, 98. Yeah, and her husband was gone for 30 plus years, and she lived on her own till she was 98. And then she lived with my mom and dad, and then eventually we had to put her in a facility for a while where there could be a little bit more customized care for her. And then my other grandma, my best friend used to call her Glamour Gram because she would come over for lunch and she would be just, heels and purses and pearls and just a Southern
Oh,
grandmother from head to toe all the time. And she was just a joy. So I luckily have some wonderful memories of my grandparents, and luckily my son does as well. So
oh, that's so great. I mean, there's such an important part of society, you know, and having those, they become, as you get older, I think you care less. And so you just are like, I'm going to wear this because it makes me feel good.
Absolutely. That's what we should do right now, right? Wear what we want because it makes us feel good. Do what we want. I think that's the one thing about this quarantine that's sort of come out is like what's important in life is so different now than it used to be, I think.
Yes.
Even my son is home from he's home for spring break. 3 months later, he's still home from spring break. And it's been interesting just to see just to see how he has become to appreciate things a little bit differently through all of this as well. A typical 20-year-old man is not usually like, let me hang out with mom and dad, but he's like, he has an apartment in college and he's like, no, I'll stay here. It's good. I'll hang with you guys. And
Oh,
so it's been interesting to see that shift in him. I feel like 7 months ago, he'd been like, see you later, bye.
right,
So it's
right.
interesting what this has done is just made us look at family different and priorities different and just what brings joy to our lives and how we can embrace that through different methods like online improv.
No, for sure. And you're nailing it. It's like what brings joy to our lives. And for a lot of people, it's that family thing. And it's like, are you sure you want to, you can go back? And they're like, no, no, Ma, I'm cool. I'll just hang here for you for a while. And it's like,
Yeah, just for you,
okay,
just as
yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Just want to make sure you're okay. Hey, can I use the laundry? Can I grab some?
Yeah. We need some more bread and eggs.
Yeah, can I get some? I mean, I'm just here for you, really. It's like, no, I think at that point you realize like, I think around 20, 21, 22, you start realizing, oh, my parents aren't as dumb as I had thought for the last three,
Right.
4 years. They really know what they're doing. And you go through that teenage phase where everyone's dumb and nobody knows what they're doing. And then you come out of it and you're like, oh no, actually they really do know what they're talking about. And they are people I go to for advice and they're still important to me.
Yeah, and it's really a neat transition to watch because it's tough to be the parents on the other side of the teenage years. So it's nice to feel appreciated again.
Right.
So whether it's for the fact that you're giving them food and lodging for free or that they're just figuring it all out too. So it's really kind of cool. So he's been my
Um,
tech support through all of this. So I have built-in tech support, which has been lovely. So
oh my God, isn't it the best? And think of like all the technology you have to quickly learn right now because of this. Like I never knew of Zoom before, and
no,
now
me
it's like
neither. Me
using it
neither.
every day.
Yeah, I was in the retail world for 20 years and we did like a lot of conference calls, but like this Zoom would have been awesome. I did trainings and things, and this
Yeah.
was never anything that anybody brought into the world. So I think it's life changing. We did an online show last through Zoom. We didn't do it live on Facebook a couple weeks ago on Mother's Day. A bunch of ladies, improvisers, and we invited our moms and our family. And just watching my mom hitting the buttons just to get on was just that was the beginning of the show. And then I was like, I'm just going to turn her camera off. But
That's
she managed to get on Zoom. She's almost 80 years old, her and my dad. And they had a blast coming to one of my shows, which they don't get to do because they live in another state. So it's just another way to bring a connection. So it's been
oh,
fantastic. So,
that is so great. Yeah, it's an opportunity. Like I look at this as like it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity, like we talked about, to like take classes other places. It's an opportunity
yeah.
to have people watch your shows and to reach out. And now you teach improv and acting and like
Yeah.
to kids and adults. So like if people want to reach out to you, they want to follow you, they want to check out some of your shows, or like have you come teach a class, like what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Sure. So we have a sort of a collective here in Charlotte that myself and a couple other people run called Queen City Comedy.
Yeah.
We're offering some free drop-in classes for kids, teens, and adults. And then we're doing like some $10 workshops for more advanced improvisers, trying to keep it affordable so that people can kind of push themselves. So that's stuff that anyone can do without any experience. I'm also I teach at Acting Out Studio here in Charlotte. And I teach acting and improv. I have improv students that are like 8, and I think my oldest is 77, which is super amazing. We have performance teams for youth, performance teams for teens and adults, acting. Then we do voiceover and musical theater, but I don't teach either of those. But there's some fantastic instructors. So,
Like,
and like, whoa, I mean, I sing, but I'm not teaching it. And then we have students that are taking it online. Like I had a student online taking a class from me from Kentucky and different parts of the country. Because again, people are just able to educate themselves online and get great instruction from different people. I know I've had that opportunity to train with fantastic people in LA and London and Dublin, and it's just been amazing. That's been for me, like, it's kept me sane in all of this quarantine, just really connecting through the community instead of it being just here in Charlotte, through the world, which has been awesome.
Yeah, it's such a great, like, it never would have happened unless we had this pandemic. Like, we had been talking about it and like, oh, we should, a lot of that stuff. But like, once this happened, now it becomes more of a reality. And you can reach out to people, like you said, all over and take these wonderfully now very affordable classes, free, 10 bucks, 20 bucks to get, instruction. And then you meet people from all over the world and you get to play with so many different people. So I think it's a really exciting chapter in what's going on in improv.
And I think it'll continue.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to take a class recently from the Groundlings, which is like a dream, right? Like, I take a class at the Groundlings, and the instructor was like, it took us a minute to get on board, but we think that this will continue, that this, even after we're back in the studio, we can now do this outreach to people all over the world now who would love to train with our instructors and take our classes. And so I think it's just going to be just a great evolution. And just the next phase of improv is the training is going to be, infinite possibilities. So
Yes. Why not? Like, I don't understand why people wouldn't be on board, because you can reach a global audience right now. And why not make that accessible and affordable to people? And then, yeah, that dream of like, I get to take a class at this theater where I've only I've read about them, I've seen their shows, but now I get to take a class there. It's like you open up the possibility for so many people. And you could still, like you said, you could still do it live in person with people, but now you have an opportunity to reach people who wouldn't normally have a chance to learn from a certain school or a certain theater. And it's not just reading the books right now. It's like, no, you can actually take a class right now from the person who authored the book.
oh yeah, I just took a class from Paul Vaillancourt, and I was like fangirling, because I'm like, oh my gosh, talk about the triangle. Yeah, I'm so ridiculous. Yeah, so it's crazy. And also, I think for people who are like, I want to try improv, like, this is such a comfort bubble, right? Like, I can try improv online, see how I feel about it, and then if that works for me, then maybe I can walk into a classroom or a theater and take it in person. And so I think you're going to see the amount of people taking it kind of, just grow and grow, even if they never perform it. Just the learning of it and the skills of yes and taking care of my scene partner and making them look fantastic. If only that worked every day in everyone's life, it would be such a great world, such a great world.
I mean, Karla, that's what we're trying to do, right? As teachers, we're trying to, and improvisers, we're trying to spread that and tell people, it's like, just take one class, the world will be better, and you will learn so much through this. And like, now we have an opportunity to reach people through their computers, which wasn't there before. So yeah, take a class. It'll help you, even if you don't want to be a performer.
Right, absolutely. It just makes you a better person. It makes you a better partner for your loved ones, a better coworker. So it just helps you be happier in life. It's great. It brings such joy. Just remember that improv brings joy.
Well, you are such a joy to play with, and you brought emotion to the scene as well, which people have been like questioning if it can happen. And it's like, no, it can happen.
Absolutely. Just react, live in the moment.
Oh, I can't wait to play with you again, my friend.
You
Thank you
too. Thank you
so
so
much.
much. All right. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Bye,
All
Karla.
right. Bye.